my balls smelled the worst anyone's balls have ever smelled in their entire life. When I got in the shower to come here, I took a little dab and sniff, and I was like, whew, that's worse than armpits.
Oh.
That's fucking, and that was booze.
Dude,
So,
how
yeah.
jealous do you think the front, how jealous do you think the back of your balls are of the front of your balls, dude?
Well, the back of your balls hang out with your asshole. The front of your balls hangs out with your dick.
Yeah.
I'd much rather hang out with a dick than an asshole.
Me too. Imagine us being back there. It's like living in the slums.
It's like
It's like
it's like I'm trying to think of two comics, one a dick and one's an asshole. Like, who would you want to hang out with? I'm not gonna say the names.
maybe Dice and
Wait, which is Dice?
I mean, you can put either way probably. Dice could be a dick, but that's also his brand, though.
Yeah, but it's like an ironic dick.
Right. Oh, I
Like
see.
he's an ironic. Like he's just
Who
too
likes
funny.
being a dick? Jeselnik, kind of. Is he a dick? I don't know.
No.
He's just kind of morose.
I think he's just quiet. I think Jeselnik is like Jeselnik's like Segura. They don't need to talk to people. I need to talk to people. I have to talk to people. I'm gonna stand outside.
Oh, Tom doesn't. He can do his own thing, huh?
He could not speak for the rest of his life, I think, other than on stage, and he'd be very happy.
Wow.
He does not need to speak. Like he does not. I get into a car with
know him that
someone,
good.
and I am chatty, Kathy,
Yeah.
the whole ride.
Yeah, you like to be alive.
I love being alive. It's like my favorite part of being alive is loving that you're alive.
Right.
Like if you just kind of go, I'm alive, there's times where I wake up and I'm rough. This is when we're talking about like the recovery brain of like, man, what should I do? And then I think the difference is I wake up and if I feel a little down, a little depressed, maybe a little hungover, maybe a little shaky from partying too hard, I go, you have two options today. You can lose today. You can lose it. You're allowed to. You're allowed to take a Xanax, tap out, get back in bed, crank up the AC, throw on Netflix, put it on a Spanish-speaking cooking show, and just go to sleep. For the whole day, you can do that. Or you can choose to win the day, where you get up, you have a coffee, you barrel through it, you go to the gym, you work out, and you just ignore that voice in your head that goes, hey, man, we're not going to be able to do this today. You go, I'm not listening to you today. I chose to seize the day. And knowing that I have that tap out of like, hey, we can call it a day. We can wake up and call it a day. Make a breakfast sandwich, eat a Xanax, watch Netflix, crank up the AC, blackout curtains, sleep, wake up at 8 and have a cocktail with your wife and have a great fucking day. We can do that. Or we can push through the day. We can get up early. We can go have a coffee. We can have a treat, maybe a little bit of Instagram, a treat, a little.
Yeah.
And then get in the gym, push through it. Piss sweat in the sauna, in the polar plunge, and you will feel better. I promise you will feel better.
And what do you choose?
I always choose the one where I work out. I always choose it. I've chosen Xanax before. I have.
Right.
I have. My wife always knows it, and she's like, "Oh, so funny. I thought you were different than that." But you just gotta choose to not listen to that voice in your head that's going, "We can't do this, man. This is too hard." Like you've ever gotten up?
Well,
Go ahead.
I think that's where some people struggle with like alcoholism. I think that voice, it's not even sometimes about the drugs and alcohol. It's just about that voice the next day and how much it like haunts them or like how much it like the drugs and alcohol fuel whatever the negative feelings. Like it's such a gasoline on those thoughts and feelings.
Do you ever feel like maybe, and by the way, we don't have to keep this in if you don't want to, but do you ever feel like, I always wonder with you, because I know you're sober, do you ever feel like maybe there was just aspects of your sobriety, maybe there was aspects of your partying that should never have been included?
Yeah.
Like cocaine.
Yeah.
Like that should never have been in your mix.
Right.
And you should have never been introduced to it. And had you never been introduced to it, you may be able to have a few beers with people. I'm not saying that. By the way, I'm not.
Oh, totally.
I want your happiness.
No, I think about that every day.
You are a joy to listen to. Literally, honestly, a treat. When you come up, it's funny who your kids like, right? Like Georgia just thinks you are fucking the cat's pajamas. You make her giggle so hard.
Sweet, man.
Isla's a big Tim Dillon fan.
That makes sense.
Right? And
Tim Dillon's great though.
But like,
too.
I don't want to fuck with either you or Tim's sobriety. But do you ever think that way?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
cocaine, I can't do it. It fucks me up so bad that I want to quit everything.
Yeah.
I go, fuck it. It's like the next day off of cocaine, I'm literally waiting for the stroke to hit. I'm going like, it's coming right now. It's
Yeah.
coming right now. Why did I do this? Why did I do this to myself?
Yeah, it's like that no whammies, like that game show.
Yeah, no whammies, no whammies. It's a heart attack. God damn it, my heart's racing. It's the dumbest
dude,
fucking drug.
cocaine's just insane, man. If I'd have never found cocaine, I'd never had any problem with anything else.
Isn't that crazy?
So sometimes I think maybe at some point I would just not do cocaine, but yeah, I mean,
but it leads to it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's once you find out you can just turn around in the median and go the other direction on the highway. It's really hard to not do that every time.
Yeah.
Like if you never knew you couldn't do that.
Yeah. When people were like, yeah, and then I realized why I never even super enjoyed drinking, because cocaine, I'm like, I can get messed up right now, and Marks go. You know what I'm saying?
It really does. It's so much better than a shot. It's just like, and I remember the first time I ever did cocaine, I was in New Orleans, and my buddy had a rock, and he had a screen of a...
Damn, this makes me want to touch my fucking dick even hearing about it.
He told me, he was one of my best friends, to this day, one of my best friends, and he said, we were looking for ecstasy, and he said, I don't have any ecstasy. And I said, but you're partying, right? And he was like, I am. We're same age. And he goes,
And what did he look like, a white guy?
Really good looking guy. More Italian, more like Michelangelo. You know Michelangelo's name wasn't Michelangelo?
It was in one word?
It was one word. It was
Michelangelo.
And that was part of a bigger name. I thought it was Michelangelo, not like Michelangelo Pizzeria Mussolini.
That's a black Italian, I think, if it's the full one.
Yeah, Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Michelangelo. It's amazing there aren't more Michelangelos. Anyway, he said, I have cocaine, and I said I remember going, you do cocaine? And he goes, yeah, we do cocaine. He was like, and I was like, is it safe? And he was like, yeah, it's totally safe. He goes, here's the deal. Looked me in the eyes, and he said, it's really good, and it could become a problem. And he goes, and it has for friends. Like, trust me. And I was like, well, what should I do? And he goes, you got to make that decision on your own. So I went up to my buddy who I was looking for ecstasy with, and I said, we can't get ecstasy, but we can get cocaine. And he's like, I'll do it. And I was like, I've never done it. And he goes, it's pretty good. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. So we went back. I said, I'll do some. Didn't have to buy it. He just gave us, I grew up with a kid, and he shaved it off of the screen of like a window. It was a screen. It was a screen that was on like a tilt. So it was like two sticks with a screen that went like this, and it was maybe this big.
That's carpenter's cut, dude. And that shit is good.
He shaved it off of that, and it feathered down, and he cut a line, and he said, snort half of that with your nose. And I snorted the whole thing with one nostril.
Yeah.
And he goes, that's I think you're good. And I went, okay. And Theo, immediately from this tooth over and this tooth over went ice numb, the whole side of my face. And I was like, woo. I felt woo. And my first thought was, I remember I could walk outside and rip a tree out of the ground and carry it around tonight. But I'm so smart that I won't do that, because if they see me with a tree, they'll go, he's on cocaine. So I'm not ripping trees out. And then I was like, I think I'm going to need to do the other nose because this side isn't numb. And he was like, okay, just a little one. And he gave me another line, and I did the other side, and this tooth went sing. I mean, I could hear it go sing, and it went all the way over there. And I said, I looked at my buddy, and who I won't say his name, the buddy I was partying with,
Ron,
and close. And so I said to our other friend, I said, I think we're going to go down to the Bourbon Street. And he was like, okay. He's like, no cell phones. He was like, we'll see you later. And I was like, great. And I looked at my buddy and I said, let's go have some fun. We took a little bit of pouch with us, and we had one of the most exciting nights of our lives. And maybe, I don't even think we did any more cocaine throughout the night. I think we maybe did a key bump, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't think we did any more. And we had the greatest fucking night of our life. And then that night, went back, passed out in my truck, woke up when the sun was coming up with the most acutely searing anxiety attack I've ever had in my life. And we had an 8-ball left that my buddy gave me to take home. And we had to drive.
To take home.
Yeah. And so I took the 8-ball. I put it in my Cherokee. We drove from New Orleans to Tallahassee, and all my brain did was like, I heard my brain, you got regular brain where you go, hey, maybe we should pull over and get McDonald's. And your little regular brain, regular little guy you've been with your whole life. And then you go, oh, that sounds like a good idea. And he's like, I just thought I'd put it right up, bring it up.
Yeah.
And so I get in the car, and little brain's like, dude, we still have that cocaine, right? And I was like, yeah, I put it it's in the middle. And he's like, are you sure that's a good idea? And then all of a sudden this fucking anxiety voice goes, what the fuck? Are we traveling with cocaine? Dude, we're going to fucking jail. What the fuck? You need to pull over right now. You need to hide that in one of your bags. Either that or do it. We got to do cocaine. That'll make the drive so much better. And I was like, should we get food? And he was like, fuck that. We've got iron stomach. We can't get our dick hard and we can't shit. Let's drive. It was like Sam Kinison was in my head. And man, I tell you very candidly, I haven't got rid of that voice forever. And that's why I don't fuck around with cocaine, is that fucking voice. The next day, all that fun that was, it's not worth it to hear that guy just, we better get out of bed. You're on blood pressure medicine. What the fuck did we do last night?